Hi guys, Sean Gottliebson here. Congratulations on being selected for the National Championships. Really looking forward to a productive week. It's going to be fantastic. I've designed this little video to try and help everybody get on the same page with three-person mechanics. It's really important that, particularly by Monday at the very latest, we try and be on the same page so we're not thinking about mechanics and we're concentrating more on the calls that we're making during the game. So I hope you find this video informative, and please feel free to contact me if you've got any questions as we go through. Okay, to begin the game, let's start with umpire 2, who takes the position on the opposite side of the score table, around level with the team bench area. Their responsibility is all 8 non-jumpers. Umpire 1 is table side, between the edge of the team bench area and the centre line, and their responsibilities of calling a re-jump on a poor toss or jumper violation and giving the time in signal to start the game clock when the ball's tapped. And finally, the referee, who is responsible for the toss of the ball. Okay, in this clip we're going to see a toss that is too high for the jumpers and is correctly called back by umpire 1 on the table side. Okay, where do I go, I hear you guys ask when we start the game. We're thinking about the two umpires when we say this, and the simple way of putting it is if the ball goes in your direction, you become lead. So if the ball goes left in this clip, then umpire 2 is going to become lead. If the ball goes right in this clip, then umpire 1 is going to become lead. The non-active umpire will become the centre official, and the referee will become the trail official. Okay, so we've gotten started. Now let's talk about who should be looking at what and where you should be standing on the court. And we'll start with lead. Okay, pay particular attention to where the lead referee is standing. If you draw a line from the end of the key to the wall, he'll be standing right on that line. Now we've had a rotation, which we'll talk about shortly, and the lead referee gets to the other side of the court in exactly the same spot as we talked about just before. That's about the range of movement that we're after from the lead referee. Okay, now for the centre position. If you look on the opposite side of the court here, you'll see the centre referee. If you drew a line from that bottom of that dotted circle all the way to the sideline, that's about where we need you to stand. Don't be too high. Okay, now the trail position. We're wanting to start around about where the team bench area starts, and we make small movements that we need to make to be able to see what we need to see. Don't go too deep, otherwise we end up with two centres. Okay, now let's talk about where you should be looking now that we're in the right spot. Big thing about three-person is that you need to have trust. Concentrate on your areas of responsibility. This graphic here shows what you should be looking at, where you should be looking. So the centre referee, it's really imperative that that person covers off the ball. If they don't, we will have issues at an under-18 championships. Centre referee, avoid calls over the split line. Don't buy into it. Trust your partners. There's 2 of them over there. With your rotations, they need to be quick and concise. Really imperative at this level that we read the play well. If we read the play well, our rotations will be very smooth, nice and easy, and we shouldn't have too many issues. Coming down the court, let's set up ball side. Strong, quick, and the lead referee needs to be decisive and quick in their movements. Okay, an example of setting up ball side. Watch the referee switch sides in lead to make sure she sets up ball side. That's what we're after. Okay, let's talk about some rules when it comes down to rotations. What we want is the lead referee must be ball side when the ball drops below the foul line. Watch the next rotation when the ball drops below the foul line. Okay, that rotation puts our lead referee in the perfect position to be able to make an adjudication on that shooting situation. Perfect rotation. We need to see that from you guys this week. Okay, we want to avoid being halfway through a rotation when a shot's put up. So one way to address this is when the ball kicks to the other side of the floor, in lead, pinch some paint before you go. Address the situation, work out whether or not there's going to be a shot put up. If not, go. If there is, just hold, wait for it to happen, and then make a decision. Now, centre referee, don't run off too quick in transition down the court. If the ball comes over to your side of the floor, it actually works out better if you hold, and you may end up becoming the trail referee. And then the lead referee and the old trail can rotate to adjust. Okay, trail referee in transition. Don't just turn and run. Look over your shoulder. Use the centre line and the foul line extended as good spots to use as checkpoints to see what's going on. There may be a need for you to switch sides. In this perfect piece of video work, if I do say so myself, you can see that the now lead referee is using that foul line extended as a good checkpoint, looking over her shoulder to see what's coming down the floor, and ultimately is able to position herself into a good place to make the correct foul call when the ball comes down. Okay, free throw situations. Our lead referee is going to be the one that is responsible for retrieving the ball, administering the free throws, and watching all of the players along the opposite side of the restricted area. Our centre referee is responsible for signalling the number of free throws, watching the players along the opposite side of the restricted area, and observing the feet of the free throw shooter. The trail referee is helping with any free throw violations that may be necessary to be called, and administering the throw-in at the centre line extended opposite the score table when that is required. Note where everyone's standing. With the exception of the centre referee who's standing a little bit wide, she should be on where the 3-point line intersects the foul line. Other than that, everybody's around where they should be. So use this as a guide as to where you should be standing for free throw administration. Okay guys, we can use this next clip for a few examples actually. First of all, it's going to be for the switch after a foul call. Ultimately, if you call a foul, you want to end up on the opposite side of the score table. What that means is, if that referee is coming to take your place, you need to switch with them. Now you'll notice here the non-active referee starting to run across the court for the switch. The important thing now is that the non-active referee is the referee responsible for the administration of subs and timeouts, not the referee who has just called the foul. It is the non-active referee that is responsible. Okay guys, for any break in play, whether it be quarter time, beginning of the game, timeouts, we want you on the opposite side of the score table, around about where these guys are standing here. You need to be observing what's going on and ready to deal with anything that may come up.